The goal today is really to get your input on the draft master plan. I will be doing a brief presentation on the plan, and then intend to, as you see from the agenda, the goal here is we've set up 4 stations around the room, which have 4 separate questions with regard to the master plan. And once I get through the presentation, I'd like for you to visit each of the stations and provide your input. We will have individuals involved in the planning process at each of the stations, as well as others of us floating about if you have questions. Again, thank you. Again, the goal here is for you to share information about the master plan draft with you and get your thoughts. The main part of this will be getting input from you, and we'll share some next steps as well at the end, around 11. Just to give you a little overview of the planning process, the process began just a little over or about a year ago when President Bowman called for a revision of the current campus master plan during his State of the University address. Myself and the other 3 vice presidents were charged with the leadership and oversight of this process. We worked with the cross-university campus capital planning and budget team to guide and facilitate the process. And as part of this, we developed a set of guiding principles and planning assumptions, which you will find in the appendix of the master plan. Early on, one of our guiding principles is that we would do extensive consultation both with the campus community and the surrounding community. As a result, we held 4 public forums early on, last from November to January, one of which was specifically for students. We did an online survey to gather feedback, and then we had targeted meetings with a number of groups ranging from the university's shared governance constituencies to division and college leadership to facilities experts, and then certainly community officials. Some of the planning assumptions that the key planning assumptions that grew out of our input process and study process became very clear early on that it was important to the university community that the quad remains the academic center of the campus. We intend to keep our enrollment steady at about 20 to 21,000 students, with, again, the composition of undergraduate and graduate students being steady. And at the same time, while we will remain predominantly undergraduate, we continue to see the scale and scope of research and creative activities growing here at the university, and we certainly intend for that to continue. Any new professional school that would be established to enhance existing disciplinary advantages and expertise, and we will retain the current 4-semester on-campus housing requirement for undergraduates. On the athletics side, we do not anticipate any changes in the number or type of sports or the divisions in which intercollegiate athletics competes. We are all well aware of the state's current financial situation, and we do not see that changing anytime in the near future, certainly. So as we consider our facilities needs, the financial support for our facilities needs going forward, we recognize that state funding will not be available to meet all of these needs, and we're going to need to seek additional sources and different sources of revenue to finance future campus development. The university has an impressive physical or set of facilities right now, and as a result, as we move forward, we will seek to enhance existing facilities rather than demolishing and building new construction whenever feasible and cost effective. Certainly, technology will play an ever-increasing role at ISU, both on the academic and administrative and campus life sides. This map here shows the districts. You have that map in your handout. Just very briefly, and you'll see as you go through the recommendations, we have keyed the recommendations to the campus districts to where they will be located. This is the Gregory Street property, which is the former University Farm. It's approximately 300 acres. This is the northwest district that includes athletics as well as some housing, and then certainly the Alumni Center. This is the North District, which is where we're currently located, including Bone, Braden, Milner, and some other facilities up here. The historic quad, as we mentioned, remains the academic center. This is the West District, which includes the new Student Fitness Center. The East District includes Watterson and Manchester Hewitt, as well as some other academic facilities. And then the emerging Uptown District, which is, as you know, for those of you who live here, is under development. And the Uptown Crossing facility, which is completed, and the university will be moving some functions into that in October. The draft recommendations that were included, and again, you've got a summary of the recommendations in your handout. I won't go through all of them. We have organized them into 5 groups: instruction, research and public service related recommendations, campus life related recommendations, intercollegiate athletics, administrative support functions, and then general campus enhancements. Now to the real reason why we're here today, which is to get your feedback on a number of questions. The first question that we would like your feedback on is just generally what is your overall impression of the draft master plan 2010 to 2030. Second question is, does the draft of the master plan adequately address the university's most pressing challenges related to facilities, and if not, what do you think needs to be changed? Thirdly, do the recommended actions ensure enhanced experiences for students, faculty, staff, and alumni, annuitants, and the local community? If not, what do you think needs to be added? And then finally, are there any outstanding questions that you have about what is included in the master plan 2010-2030 draft? So with that, I guess I would like to break and ask each of you to, again, we will be having people at each of the 4 stations. I'd invite you to visit each of the stations and provide your input. We'll be available to answer any questions that you might have. And again, we'll be reconvening probably close to 11 or a little after to talk about next steps, and then we'll bring this forum to closure. So with that, I'd also invite you to, we have some refreshments at the back if you would like to partake. So thank you very much, and again, thank you for being here to provide us input. Okay, folks, if you can take your seats briefly, we'll finish up here. Before we get away, I would like to introduce another vice presidential colleague, Aaron Manet. Wave your hands there. So thank you. Just very briefly, again, thank you so much for coming today, providing input. We really greatly appreciate this. There will be another public forum on Monday at 2 p.m. in the Marriott. If you know of individuals who might have been interested in coming today but couldn't. Just in terms of the next steps, just a reminder, there is a website for the master plan. There's an online survey which seeks to collect additional information in terms of your thoughts on the specific recommendations, as well as information on the planning process. After we have gone through the feedback phase of this process this fall and winter, we will revise the document and present it to each of the university's shared governance groups in the late fall for their endorsement, and the ultimate goal here is to have a final draft available for Board of Trustees endorsement in February 2011, and at that point the real hard work begins in terms of implementing the plan, which as the planning phases over the next 20 years, we have certainly quite a bit of work and thinking to do on the implementation phase. But we believe that this plan will provide us an excellent basis for doing so. So with that, I'd like to end the formal part of this program. Again, thank you very much for coming. We'll be available afterwards if you have additional questions, and then certainly would invite you to contact any of us going forward if you have additional thoughts. So thank you very much.